Halo, Assalamualaikum. Bentar. Suara gua aman ya? Aman ya? Ntar gua prepare dulu. Gua mau apa namanya? Share di Discord dulu. Lu itu aja masuk aja ke Discord, nggak apa-apa, nggak masalah. Tapi bisuin aja nggak apa. Gue jelasin di sini karena di sini juga nanti denger kok. Apa yang diomongin juga denger kok. Bentar. Halo, selamat malam semuanya. Halo, selamat malam. Halo. Bisa translatein ya sekalian ya. Ntar gua dengerin dulu suaranya. Ini gua matiin dulu ininya dulu. Gua chat. Desktopnya gua nyalain. Ini gua nyalain. Dengar gak suaranya? Dengar gak sih suaranya? Nggak denger ya? Oh, kayaknya bentar. Aku pakai Discord yang biasa aja dulu. Gue pakai Discord yang biasa. Ini kayaknya nggak masuk deh audionya deh. Ntar gue buka Discord. Banyak banget ya yang main, yang ikut ya. Halo semuanya, selamat malam. Yuk, kumpul yuk. Masih perkenalan dia masih perkenalan, santai aja, masih perkenalan, belum apa namanya, mereka belum fokus ke pembahasan tentang Genopet, mereka lagi perkenalan aja sekarang, prepare aja. Ini gua mau ganti langsung, dia lagi perkenalan, masih perkenalan dia. Ngantuk kalau ngedengerin dia mereka tuh. Ngantuk kayaknya. Halo Bang Fir, Bang DR, Bang Laki, Bang Dante, Bang Ats, Bang Bazar, Bang Zodiak. Jadi buka 2 tab. Itu matiin aja. Nanti nih denger kok di sini, bentar. Gua lagi update Discord dulu. Mereka lagi ngobrolin yang nggak terlalu penting juga kok. Masih apa namanya? Masih perkenalan mereka. Ntar. Malah online juga. Iya bentar. Ya, nggak apa-apa cuy, like dulu lah. Iya, like dulu lah. Like dulu dong. Ntar gue lagi setting nih. Browser gua nggak mau nyala suaranya. Gua kira dia pasti nyiapin translator deh, admin dari Indo deh. Gua kira nanti lo ya, ini gua ngerasanya kayak gitu. Like dulu, bentar. Gua bentar. Oke, gua itu dulu. Gua nyalain Discord yang asli aja, bentar. Maaf. Halo semua, halo Bang Yoswo, halo. Bentar, gua nggak sih. Dengar nggak sih suaranya guys? Kalian? Oh nggak bisa ya? Desktop audionya. Oh mic desktop audionya monitor. Oh. Suaranya ada nggak sih? Suaranya itu Discord gua. Suara Discord gua ada nggak sih?
It's move to play and play to earn. So Genopets is
Gak ada, dipindah ya channelnya. Iya, dipindah channelnya. Mereka pindah channelnya. Mereka pindah channelnya. Iya nggak ada. Padahal di sini ada suaranya loh dia. Move to play, play to earn. DC Suni sama ada suara Bang Bowo. Oh iya kah? Bentar. Gua setting dulu ya, bentar ya. Gua properti dulu.
go to play. Next is move to earn. So yeah, the mechanics is you have to move, right? So in order for you to earn, you have
Udah
to
ya,
have an
denger ya.
habitat, correct?
Denger ya.
So, yep. So once you do have I mean, what is the advantage of owning a habitat, or if a scholar have a habitat? All right. So habitat, like we do have like different kind of elements.
Halo semuanya, halo halo. Kita dengerin dulu ya.
Yeah, each habitat generates in-game items known as unrefined crystals of the corresponding elements. And then the unrefined crystals can then be harvested and refined in the habitat laboratory. So resulting in Genopets, crystal NFTs. And then player can then sell their genotype crystals to their players on the open market. That's one way of earning in earning in Genopets. Now, what we are focusing now with Genopets is, I think everybody know that we do have like two roles, right? The harvester and the alchemy, right? AAG, we really thought deep about it, like how can we go about, maximizing profitability, maximizing, scholars' potentials and stuff. So yeah, basically we are really doing our best. What really makes sense? Okay, so based, after our deep dive with these game mechanics and stuff, um, we decided that first, okay, this is just the beginning, and since this is just the beginning, we are focusing our scholars
Mereka
and
itu lagi ngomongin masalah itu loh, cara apa maksimalin potensi scholar kita dan caranya gimana sih biar scholar kita itu dapat maksimal earningnya kan. Dan kalian sudah siap apa belum? Soalnya akan dilanjutin, akan dijelaskan hari ini, malam ini langsung. Ya main ya.
Harvester role. Well, these are like the scholars who are harvesting the key, which is the utility token for the Genopet. And yeah, every day scholars should be responsible of harvesting
Nah, dia ngejelasin bahwa setiap kali atau setiap hari para scholar itu harus dan bertanggung jawab untuk harvest atau memanen token key-nya di habitat. Jadi kalau kalau kalian nggak yang namanya harvest, yaitu berarti melanggar aturan. Ya, jadi kita memang scholar itu buat itu. Memang tugasnya utamanya adalah buat harvest key. Karena lagi-lagi kan harvest juga Android susah ditembus kayak Walken dan segala macem. Jadi memang ya tugas utamanya seperti itu.
Detailed information.
14 hari. Kalau RRQ kan kemarin kan yang 7 hari ya. Kalau ini gua denger mereka minta 14 hari. Nanti detailnya ada detailnya nanti dikasih ke kita. Tapi secara jelas di sini 400 ki dan 14 hari. Soalnya jadi kecil, iya soalnya jadi kecil.
Yeah, I guess
Ya
that
oke. Soalnya biar nggak
Menikmati
ketabrak
is
sama suara gua buat ngejelasin.
check who's raising hand. Okay, I saw or I've seen Alex Berka raising hands earlier. All right. Oh, we do have Gray raising hand. All right, great.
Uh,
Hello, GP. Hello, Carl. Hello, Omar.
Hi, Gray.
Hi,
Yeah,
Gray.
hi. The question I want to ask is will be all of scholars will get the habitats or just a few? Thank you.
just few. Apa just few? Just few.
All right, thanks, Gray,
Apa maksudnya
for
just
that
few?
question. So
Kira
yeah,
ngerti
here's the thing.
boso
Okay,
ngeres you
before
know.
before I'm gonna answer that question,
Hello
we would
everyone.
like to have
Aku boleh tanya nggak sih?
quality scholars.
Ini
Meaning to say, these scholars are, you know, the ones that are really committed, really love the game, very motivated and stuff. So to answer your question, before you guys will have an habitat, you have to agree our terms and condition. Okay, so on Monday, there will be a Google form, and then you will gonna sign it, so that there's also an explanation there. You know what are the agreements are. So yeah, to answer your
of
question,
view. Of view.
since we still have like how
Gua dengernya
many
view,
scholars
view.
we do have, I think around 400
Ya
maybe,
nggak itu
or the
ituan.
onboarded scholars are around 300 or so, or I forgot the exact
Tanya
number,
apa?
but
Tanya
but
apa?
yeah.
Kalian mau tanya
So
apa?
all of you
Gua
guys,
tanyain.
okay, all of you guys will have a habitat, and but there's a condition. All right. So again, let me clear it out. All of you guys will have an habitat if and only if you will get the requirements that we are asking for you guys. Okay. So the question now is, what are those? All right. Okay. So first is, we are tracking your activity, right? So first is, you have to have a minimum average of 7,000 steps for the last 5 days. Okay. So if your average is 7,000 steps already for 5 days, then basically you are good to go, and you will be receiving habitat very, very soon. Okay. So since this is okay, I would like to explain it. Okay. There may be delay, okay, on you receiving the habitat because we are doing it manually. So these guys are not robots, and we're doing it manually. So yeah, there may be a delay for an hour, or 24 hours or so. But again, if you already have a minimum average of 7,000 steps for the last 5 days, basically you're already in for, or you will be having or receiving habitat very, very soon.
Oke, ya bener ya. Jadi dia
All right. So
clarify
I
bahwa
guess is that answer your question?
jadi dia oh Indonesian Scholarship. Jadi dia clarify ya bahwa mereka itu bakal ngasih ke semua yang udah kedaftar di Scholar dengan catatan atau asal ya minimal ya dalam beberapa 7 hari ini 5 sampai 7 hari ini itu 7.000 step ya minimal. Kalau di bawah itu ya harus dinaikkan dulu ya progresnya. Jadi 7.000 itu minimal. Namun nggak semua langsung dapet. Itu prosesnya bertahap karena mereka ngirimnya manual dan mereka katanya bukan robot.
While we are earning, because the habitat is already released, they are still in the process of upgrading the system. Okay, so that's one. And because we are still in a private beta, that would mean that there's only going to be a limited number of codes or scholarships that they will be providing us.
Ya
And
betul
because
betul.
that is
Setuju
limited,
Kak.
we need to ensure that the people or the scholars that we are going to be selecting are able to meet the qualifications at what as what Omar mentioned, testing the waters first. Let's see if you guys are able to hit or get the quota of 7,000 steps on a daily basis for the next 5 days. And then, if you get to qualify for that, then you will be provided the habitat.
Oke oke oke. Pam 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 pam. Itu dia menekankan
Hello,
lagi
Carl.
7K step ya.
And
Are you good?
then that's where
We
Untuk
lost
5 hari
there,
terakhir
Carl.
ya, progres
Can
kalian
you
harus nyentuh 7.000 step
rewind a
minimal.
bit?
Kalau itu berarti kalian
hello
qualify
JP,
atau ya
sorry.
kalian
How about
memenuhi
Yeah,
now?
syarat.
we cut you off earlier. You were saying everyone will be getting habitat, and we lost you. What was that again?
Okay. Thank you, JP. Just let me know if I get cut off again. So what I was saying earlier is that right now we are still on a beta stage, and the only reason we have the ability to share the scholarship and our scholars are already earning is because of that partnership that we have with Genopets. So first one, to ensure that it's going to be a very good partnership in terms of Genopets, AAG, and our scholars. We are trying to make sure that the people we are providing habitats are the ones who are able to meet the qualification. And the reason behind that is because one of the mechanics of habitat is that the moment that it is going to be assigned to our scholars, um, the habitat will start decaying its lifespan, which could only last for 90 days. Okay, so that means that regardless if our scholars are playing or not, the habitat will expire after 90 days. So we are trying to ensure that we are choosing the right people so that they will be able to take advantage of the offer, and also on our side there's no day that is being missed out. So perhaps you might be concerned about I just want to preempt, perhaps the concern here is that is 7,000 steps doable. So currently, if you're able to do it on a daily basis for the next 5 days, that's definitely doable, and then you get your habitat. But in the habitat, you will only be required to bank in or stake or harvest your 2,500 energy. Okay, so you have 7,000 steps, you convert it to energy, that's about 5,000 plus. But when you get to the staking part on how you will be earning the key, you would actually be required only to put in 2,500 energy so that you get the maximum cap of 50 key as soon as the staking period finishes. So what will happen then to the other energy that I have banked ahead? So you can use those energy just in case you might have an emergency, or there's probably going to be an event that you'll be joining and you have limited steps, or probably, hopefully not, one is going to be sick. At least you have already prepared an extra 250, 2,500 energy that you can use on that day that you're not going to be able to really physically move. So because again, the moment that we assign that habitat with our scholars, the habitat will start decaying for the next 90 days, regardless if our scholars are going to be using it or not. So we really encourage everyone to stake daily and bank on your energy if you're able to do so, so that just in case you assume that something might stop you from being able to really hit the quota for that day, you already have energy set aside that you can use. So I hope that answers your question, Gray, and that's also for everyone's information. Thank you.
Thank you, Kang, for the explanation. More or less, I get the point of the rule or the steps we have to do. I will ask the details again to GP maybe tonight or yesterday tomorrow. Thank you.
Sure, definitely. Just reach out to any of our leads and we'll be more than happy to respond to your inquiries. Thank you, Gray. And any more questions we have, JP, on the line?
Ya bener
Well,
guys.
yeah, thanks so much for that. Let me just check here.
Ya lagi nyari tanya. Iya ya, kita memang untuk 7K. Memang kenapa mereka minta 7K? Karena yang mereka butuhkan itu 5.000 energi, karena 7K apa namanya step itu nanti di-convert ke energi itu dapatnya sekitar 5.000-an plus energi. Terus nanti 5.000 energi, separuhnya 2.500 energi itu untuk harvestnya, di stake untuk di harvest, untuk biaya harvestnya. Karena kan kalau mau harvest key kan dari energi juga, jadi dari energi di convert jadi key itu tadi lewat habitat. Bener nggak? Tolong dikoreksi Bang Dani ya. Bener kan yang udah duluan dapet ya?
5038. Gray, you may.
Pokoknya kalau udah dapet habitat, itu habitatnya nggak akan permanen guys, bisa dicabut kapan aja, tergantung kalian itu bisa apa namanya paham apa enggak dengan tanggung jawab kalian.
Solution needed to harvest and how we can manage it and how to repay it.
I apologize. I wasn't able to capture the entire question. Would you be kind to repeat that, please?
I would like to ask about the Soluna needed to harvest and how we can manage it and how to repay it.
You were asking the Solana token, which is required to harvest your key, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mamar, do you have anything for this?
All right, guys. Thanks for your question. AAG G535038. Yes. Basically, the first the first transaction fees will be covered with AAG. So I already bought a lot of Solana, to be honest. So yeah,
Tanggas fee nih.
we will be the ones to covering it for the first time, and then the next question is how can you guys repay it? So basically, once I am advising you guys, like for example, your first payout is already given to you. We are advising you.
Siapa? Sekali doang. Mereka sekali doang ngebayar. Jadi pertama kali kalian harvest ya kan, karena kalau untuk harvest key ya, kalau kalian dapat habitat kan tanggung jawab kalian itu harvest key ya, butuh energi dan juga butuh gas fee. Nah, gas fee-nya itu sekitar berapa ya? Nanti kita hitung-hitung deh, ada gas fee-nya kok. Ada itunya, Bang Dani ada. Nah, itu butuh biaya buat gas fee-nya, dan gas fee-nya itu nanti dibayar kembali, atau kayaknya kayak kita ngebayar dulu nanti diganti sama dia pertama kali untuk first transaction. Jadi transaksi awal. Kalau dia bilang transaksi awal, berarti transaksi selanjutnya kalian bayar sendiri.
Question, G53.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. So yeah, I am seeing
Super.
now some questions in the general chat. So we have here from Doomstrain. Is Genopet move to earn feature required to open location to record our steps like step in? My second question is, can we require scholarship who is not a member of AAG Guild?
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Doomstrain. So first off, um, are we required to open the location? Definitely no. You are not required to open the location feature of your device, so that your steps will be counted. Okay, so as long as you open the application, even if it's in the background, your steps will actually be counted. Okay, and perhaps the some of the concerns with the steps is that why is it that the 7,000 steps that I have is not converting into the same number of 7,000 energy? So I just wanted to set proper expectations with everyone that the conversion is not going to be 1:1. Okay, and
Hmm.
as you go along, the longer you play in the game, what will happen is that the conversion will even go lower. Say, for example, if you have 7,000 steps today and then you convert it to energy, then perhaps the conversion would be, say, 6,500. And then a week after, you put in again 7,000 steps, but the conversion is going to be different this time. It's going to be about, say, 6,000. Okay, so as you go along, as the time goes by, the conversion of your steps are going to be lower. Okay, so why is that, and what can we do to ensure that we get closer to at least almost one-to-one conversion? The reason behind that is because Genopets as a game, or as a community, wanted to establish a healthy competition amongst everyone. So this is going to remove the potential of bots, the high competition with other players, to a point that one would really be exhausted, just to make sure to hit that goal. Okay, so you only move or run or jog, depending on what is basically you're able to do for the day. Do not do extra exhaustion, because at the end, if you're gonna be exhausted and you're gonna be sick, you cannot even um, you would not be even able to convert to at least 10 energy. Okay, so that's one. And secondly, how we can combat that declining in conversion rate is through our um, increasing the level of our genopets. So the higher the level of our genopets, that would mean that the higher would be the conversion rate. So if you have right now, say for example, example earlier, 7,000, and then you convert it only to 6,500, and after a week it will only be converted to 6,000 energy. So if your genopet has actually increased in the level or evolved to, say, level 3 or level 2, which also requires energy, then that means that when you convert, then the higher, because of the higher level, the conversion rate will also increase, and that would mean from 7,000, instead of 6,000 energy, that could probably be 6,400. So your steps will not be wasted, because you are ensuring as well that your actual pet is being evolved on a daily basis. So our scholars would really have to portion their energy, the one for the staking, which always has to be 2,500 daily, and then put more on for rainy days, and a portion of that we can use to increase the level of our Genopets. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Doomstrain. Or the second question is my second question is can we acquire scholarship who is not a member of AAG Guild? I'll give this floor to Omar. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Carl. Yeah, before answering that question, I'm talking about bots earlier that Carl mentioned. Um, we would like you guys to be honest, okay? Like, if the account, i- if Genopets know that that your account is cheating, it's a bannable offense. Okay, so let's just be careful. Let's be honest on our move and stuff like that. All right. So yeah. So to answer the question, your second question is a yes. Okay. So yeah, I would like to clarify it first though. So basically, that scholar has already an access code, so he has Genopets already. But the thing is, this doesn't have habitat. Correct?
Correct, correct, correct. Yeah.
I think
Really
so,
right.
Omar.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's totally right. They have a pet
Right.
but doesn't have any I mean habitats yet.
Yes. So the answer for that is a yes. Um, Same thing. The requirement is you have to show the steps historical data. So
Kita
basically,
tanya itu ya
on
level
Monday
habitat ya. Kita coba
we do
tanya.
have a Google form. All you have to
Kita
do,
coba tanya ya.
just tell the scholar that to put the steps historical data on the Google form, and once one of our ambassador here, RP,
For your
will be the ones
information,
to
guys.
double check it if it's true or not or whatnot.
You
So
know it.
once we validated it, verified it that it's true, then that scholar looking for habitat, which is you know um, got what we are requiring for, he should have an habitat.
Thank you for clarifying that one, Mar. So basically, if you are going to apply, you will be given a code, and that code will only be an access for you to raise your pet. So you have a pet, but it does not mean that you will automatically have the habitat. So after 5 days of making sure that you complete the qualification, then the habitat will then be released to you, and those energy that you have banked for the last 5 days, you can then use that into staking or harvesting your key for the following day as soon as you receive your habitat. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Doomstrain. And I'm also seeing here another question from AAG G64. So this is thank you for raising this. So this person is really reading the what you call this, the white paper. The question is if they're able to hit the 7,000 steps in average for 5 days, will we also increase the number of habitat? So what he's trying to ask here is actually the ability of the Genopets to allow two habitats to be assigned in one scholar. So that means that, say for example, we they call it subhabitat. So for example, if you only have one habitat, the maximum key that you will be able to earn for one habitat after 14 days is about 50 key. Now, if you are really a performer, say a professional runner, and you always have those events and you always keep on banking a lot of energy as compared to what only needs to be stake, then that means that you're able to prove that you're not going to be, it's not going to be difficult if you're going to take on another habitat and connect it to your account. So instead of getting about only 50 key because you have one habitat, if you guys would be able to meet the requirements, then you will be assigned another habitat, and that will result to a maximum of 1000 no 110 key that you will be able to claim after 14 days of staking. So it will definitely increase. But also take note that if 2,500 energy is required to get the 50 key, then your requirement would also be increased to 5,000 energy for you to get the 100 key plus additional 10%. So that will make it to 110 key on a daily basis. So I hope that answers your question, G64. Don't worry, this has been thought for already, and we will be sharing the qualifications on when a scholar can get additional habitat. Okay, so um, um, we'll be posting those updates in Genopets updates form, channel, and then let us know if you have any questions. You can reach out to other leads. Okay, so JP.
All right, thanks for that, Omar and Carl. So yeah, this is now probably like the highlighter everyone is questioning about. This is a question from Gojo. So I would like to know what's the split ratio of AAG and Scholar, or you only disclose this information to scholars? Pardon me if it's already answered. All right.
So
We'll give the floor to who will gonna answer.
I'll take this one, JP.
All right,
Okay,
go,
thank you.
Carl.
Thank thank you for that, Gojo. This is a very well contested question, but we would like to be transparent to all our scholars. So currently, the sharing of AG and managers is going to be 75 25%. 75 will go to the admin and 25% will go to our scholars. And allow me to explain and elaborate why that is that so. So when we review the actual game, as I've mentioned, so one of the things that we actually have to consider is that there is a 1% processing fee every time our scholars are going to claim their key that was staked already. So every time you claim, that's automatic deduction of 1% that will go to Genopets. Okay. Next consideration is that within the next 90 days, your Genopet is going to, your habitat is going to expire. And it will require about 4,200 key for
Ya,
that
udah
Genopet
dijelasin ya.
to be reactivated and for it to be used by the same scholar or perhaps by another scholar. And for us to be able to ensure, so just to give everyone, how much is the key right now in dollars? And JP, would you know?
Well, I know it's peso. That's 13 peso right now, but in dollars, so that's like $2, I
Point
guess, or
30,
three.
right?
Yeah, something.
Ya,
Okay,
Nine point
so
twenty
i
dollars.
point 20.
kalau dari mereka bilang itu kayaknya level satu memang guys yang dapat dari AAG itu level satu. Jadi kalau mau level tinggi tuh progres lu harus naik terus gitu kan. Progres lu harus naik terus jadi nggak langsung bisa dapet gede, nggak bisa.
And 4,200 key required to reactivate about 3,000 habitats. Okay, so that will be equivalent to 12,600 key required for the activation after 90 days. And then we multiply that by 0.22, which is the value of the dollar right now. That will be a cost of 2.7 million in dollars just to activate all the 3,000 habitats that we have.
Harus
So
jujur.
for us to ensure that we're looking at the longevity of the game and also of our scholars so that they will be able to continue to earn, we have divided the 4,200 requirement into the total number of days that the habitat is going to be minted So that leaves us everything at 75% that goes to the upkeep of the habitat and reactivation as soon as it expires on its 90-day. And then just to share as well, the share of AAG, which is only the profit, is also just about 24% of that. Scholars is 25%. The rest of the 50% is actually for the upkeeping of the habitat, all costs, to ensure that it's going to survive not just for 9 months but for a couple of more months. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Jogo.
Yeah,
Let's go, Joe. Oh yeah, go more.
Go, Joe.
I just would like to mirror what Carl is saying. So yeah, we really thought about it. Like we wanted to have like a fair share for everybody. So yeah, as Carl mentioned, um, the 50% will go to the sustainability of the game, the habitat, the habitat rent, the costs to recover after dormancy, the durability, the crystal refining, and stuff like that. So basically that's already 50%. All right. So that's 50% will not go to AAG. That 50% will not go somewhere else, but it will go basically to sustain the gameplay of Genopets. And then the 1% is the processing fee. It will not also go to AAG, but it will go to the Genopets, the transaction fee, which is the network fee is the Solana blockchain. So yeah, that's already like 51%. So as we always, telling you everybody that AEG is really fair. So we decided that only 24% will go to AEG management share, 24%. And for the AEG scholar share, it's bigger, which is 25%. All right. So our competitor is not really a good word here, but more on our partners in terms of, you know, um, playing the Genopets gameplay. So their profit share is also between 20% to 25%. So yeah, I hope that it's clear, and if you do have a follow-up questions regarding profit share, you may ask the Genopet stock, or you can raise your hands.
All right. So I hope that also answers your question, Gojo. And yeah, so let's pick someone here in the audience who gonna raise their hand. Anyone?
Any more questions,
Hello,
guys?
hello, hello guys.
Guys,
Oh,
Nagtatagalog ba kayo? Oo,
oh, we got
nagtatagalog.
Joe.
gua ingat
Oh, why do
Mirfor ya.
you need to cut it? Anyways, hey
Eh,
Joseph, go ahead.
itatanong ko lang kung totoo bang may magaganap na PVP dito sa Genopets.
Gua inget itu. Gua inget Mirfor kalau ngedengerin suara orang Pinoy itu.
It's just a plain yes answer. That would gonna be
Yeah,
like the future plan of Genopets. So right now it's just like a steps or move to earn, but yeah, moving forward or in the long run. So the devs are also having or already planned that one in the white paper.
correct.
So
So
yeah, that's it.
right
Right.
now, it's still in the private beta stage. But after this phase, which is going to be phase two, which is the whitelist beta, what will happen is that is when they are going to activate the PvP portion or
Mm.
part of the game. So that's really something to look forward. So um, right now we are still in phase one, and the project is going to finish up until phase three. So there's really a lot of things that we have to watch out for. Okay, so
All
go
right.
ahead, JP.
Thank
Y- Yeah. For the benefit
Thank
of
you, thank you.
outside Philippines. So Joseph was actually asking if it's the rumors are true, if Genopets will have a PvP in the near future, and simply the answer there is yes. There's a lot of development going on with Genopets dev team. So that's something that we have to look forward to. This is just the beginning, guys. We are very, very early on in this industry, so I'm very, very positive that we'll be, we all benefit to this game. So yeah, I think Carl already answered, and the answer is yes.
All right, so thanks for that. So let's try to pick someone as well here. From our, I guess these are like some simple questions.
I'm seeing here, JP, from G24. The question here is that are they required to level up their pets? So I don't want to be imposing that within 1 week your pet should already be at level 15 or whatnot. But here's the consideration that you guys really have to think about. There's gonna be a decaying method in the conversion. So if previously you've been running 10 steps, you get conversion of 800 energy. Would you still continue to stay at level 1 wherein you are running at 10,000 steps, but the conversion is only about 2,000 energy? So that's one of the things that you guys have to consider, because it's just going to be a waste of the efforts, the physical efforts that you put in moving if you don't also level up your pet. So it has to be a balance of staking the specific amount or the maximum amount of key in the harvest, and also making sure that you don't spend a lot as well in the in leveling up your pet, because again, even if the conversion rate will increase, it will never get to 1:1, but at least it's close to that. So the higher the level, the higher the conversion rate, and that means less steps wasted during the conversion from steps into energy. So I hope that answers your question, AAG 24.
Yep, and also someone answers that coming from abuser, which as you level up, the energy multiplier per step increases, and that's totally right. Well,
Agree.
yeah, let's try to pick someone here in the audiences. Anyone will raise their hand has the freedom to talk. I'm seeing here. Ooh. Anyone? All right, I've got Min raising hand.
play for 2 weeks, and after the 2 weeks he not play anymore. Is there any penalty like we use it XP like NPNN or something like that? I don't know. My question, is there any penalty for the player that not play for days or weeks maybe? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Min, for raising that. That's really something that has to be discussed with the rest of the team. So let me step back before giving you the answer. So remember, guys, that your habitat will decay. Regardless if you stake or not, as soon as it is assigned to you, they are going to, I mean, the habitat will decay for the next 90 days, or if you're going to augment it or add on crystals, then it could be extended for another 180 days. But it does not remove the fact that during days that you're not moving, the cost is still going to be fixed at 4,200 key reactivation costs once that finishes. Okay, so now the to answer your question, yes, there is going to be a penalty. Okay, if you stop playing, the habitat will continue to be live and nobody is earning. Remember that the 50% is only taken out from the key that was harvested or staked. So if there is no earning, we no earning on that day or a couple of days, that means that since it's still going to expire in the next 90 days, AAG is going to use out of pocket cost. Okay, so we will be reactivating that from our own money or the team's money. So it's going to be a loss, really, if there is going to be no movement. That is why, for whatever reason that may be, that will result to our players not being able to play, it is very important that we save for rainy days. And when I say save for rainy days, that means that if the requirement is only 2,500 in staking, you can bank on 7,000 energy ahead. That gives you extra 2 days, just in case you will not be able to hit the quota. You have already prepared 2,500. The next day you attend the wedding, and then you're not going to be moving, so you use your saved 2,500. And then after a couple of days, perhaps there's an emergency, an errand you have to do, and will require you less movement. So at least you have already prepared another 2,500 that you can stake on that day. And also, these things are going to be part of the agreement that our scholars will be signing, because in that agreement, what will happen is that if our AXI previously allows us about a couple of days, 14 days, 10 days of no movement, and it's still fine, if that was allowed before, this time it may no longer be allowed. Okay, so that what that means is that you're only going to be getting 2 instances of no movement or not being able to hit the quota. And unfortunately, if that limit is already hit, then we will be reaching out to you and might be taking out your habitat and share it with someone who requires perhaps 2 or 3 habitats, because they are able to move um, regularly. So I hope that answers your question, Lynn.
Yes, and yeah, would like to mirror Carl. Yeah, that's one of the reason also that we are looking for a quality scholar. We are no longer with, number is good. Like we do have like 3,000 scholars. That's really good in terms of marketing, right? But Genopets is a different animal, right? So once the habitat is activated and the scholar is not playing, it will be a loss. All right. I think everybody is very clear on that. If it's a loss, then it's a waste of time it's a waste of time coming from, from our admins, from, everybody in the guild, and also a loss in terms of, as a company. So that's why you guys are here, because we saw that you guys are, proving yourselves and one of the quality scholars. And once you guys prove it, um, you will be able to have habitat. And what we are looking for is the consistency of your performance. Consistency meaning, if we get to have a consistent performing scholars, it's a win-win situation. You guys will earn more, and also AAG can recoup our investment. I mean, I think we are very transparent that in our blog, we invested around 350,000 for this game alone. So if you got, it's just basically a teamwork. We wanted you guys to perform in order for AAG to help you, as well as you perform in order for you to help AAG sustain our Genopets habitats and stuff.
All right. And yeah, so by the way, we are also live on Bang Bowo's YouTube channel. Well, thanks so much for that.
Is that coming from Indonesia?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, just a quick shout out to our Indonesian friends there, watching the live stream. Hope you guys are, having fun at the same time learning about Genopets. And if you are not yet AAG scholar, you can still join us.
Kalian dikasih tahu tuh ya. Bang Bowo, Bang Bowo. Gue lagi bikin apa namanya bikin catatan ya. Gue lagi bikin catatan. Bukan gue diem aja ya. Gua lagi bikin catatan, guys. Gua lagi bikin catatan buat nanti poin-poinnya apa aja sih nanti, ya kan? Karena mungkin kan pasti ada yang nggak ikut hari ini, jadi gua pakai atau bikin catatan ya.
For Genopets, well, yeah, so we're doing it manually, so it's gonna be like some, might be some slow movement, but we are trying our best to have everyone be catered. So that's why we are keep on mentioning those who applied. But there's just only a few who answered. But we are also repeating those names that are not who are not answering our on the mentioned list. So I'd like you guys, to those who are would like to be part of the guild and play the game, stay or keep your eye or notification on the guild or server, because anytime we will be calling your name. So I hope that everyone who applied in the application form has their correct Discord ID so that we can tag you correctly. So yeah, I guess that would be it. And let's go ahead and pick someone in the audience who will raise their hand, has
Kantuk.
a freedom to speak. Anyone? There we have Gojo. Yeah, from the audience.
No,
Hi, Gojo.
Kano protes. Kenapa namanya dari awal kok nggak dapat kode tapi harus nunggu besok
I
sendiri?
have another question. So there will be an option in the habitat alchemy role. Who will use this feature? The guild or we scholar will be given an option to opt for the same if we use our own resources, or it will be kept vacant.
Thank you very
Okay,
much for that, Gojo.
I'll go ahead, girl.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that question, Gojo. I think your question is one of the rules pertaining to if you have a habitat. Okay, so if you have been assigned a habitat, you will actually be given. You would actually have three option or roles available. So there are three roles there. The first one is the landowner or the landlord. So that's gonna be us, and then you also have your harvester, so these are going to be our scholars who will be staking, because the role of the harvester is to activate the staking feature. And then you're going to also have alchemy as part of the roles as well. So what is alchemy and how does that work? So basically, when I mentioned earlier that your lifespan of the habitat is only 90 days, depending on the level of our habitat, which is currently at level 2 right now, um, there is going to be 180 days additional chances of increasing that lifespan of the habitat. Okay, so what does that mean? So that means that if we are going to provide you, if you have the alchemy role, what will happen is that you will have the ability to refine crystal, which will cost about 10 key for one crystal to be refined. And then you can use that crystal to augment or increase the life of your habitat for another for one day. Okay, so one crystal is equivalent to 10 key, and once it has been refined, that will give our la- um, a habitat additional 1 day life, but it cannot exceed the 180 chance that we can use our crystals. So that means that, pertaining to your question, right now we are going to be the ones to do the refinement from our end. You don't have to do anything from your end, and the reason behind that, you will only be provided temporarily a harvester role only. And the reason behind that is because whenever you are given you are given an alchemy role, there is going to be a separate charge or a separate fee that our scholars would be shouldering. And at the early start of this scholarship, it might be too much for you guys to also utilize and spend a lot on the rent of the habitat so that you will be able to use the alchemy. So, temporarily, as of the moment, once the habitat is going to be released, the role that will be provided is only um, harvester for now, and then we'll see when we will be able to announce and give you guys the alchemy role. And then to give everyone an idea, if you have the alchemy role, you will basically get say for example for level 2, there is going to be two unrefined crystals that's gonna pop up in your habitat on a daily basis while your habitat is live. And you cannot remove those crystals from your habitat or from your wallet, not unless those habitats are going, no, I'm sorry, not unless those crystals are going to be refined. So if you have two crystals and then you are going to refine both, that's going to be a total of 20 key, which is really too much cost already from your end. So temporarily, until we get to the level of other means of earning key, perhaps a second habitat on your end connected to your primary habitat, and then you have more key earned on a daily basis, then perhaps we can reconsider assigning you the alchemy role. So I hope that answers your question, Gojo.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So yeah, as much as we would like to cater everyone's question here, so it's like it's almost time. So let's just go ahead and get at least three questions for the last moment that for this AMA. So yeah, let's start for the first one. Anyone? Any questions left in mind? All right. It seems like no one's raising hands now. So
There is a question here. If they have already an existing habitat
Hello.
from
Hello.
oh,
feel
Kaget gua.
free. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Uh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
so I was late in the AMS session. So I want to ask the question that what is the use of habitat when we will and how many players will be receiving that habitat?
Thank you for that, Mihir. So, if you are going to be provided a code wherein you can start downloading the application and generate your pet, you're still not going to be earning if you just have the pet. You require the habitat to be assigned to you, and once you have that habitat, that is when you will start earning. I hope that answers your question.
Oh, dah. That's
So
selesai.
currently we have about 3,000 habitats. So the
Only
ratio right now
Genopet.
is 1:1. Then if we have lesser applicants, then hopefully they are able to meet the qualification. So I just received an announcement here from the management team that instead of you guys having to send a screenshot or logging into our form in terms of providing proof that you are really moving, instead of 5 days, we will be lowering that into 3 days. For the next 3 days after you receive your code, you need to ensure to make a screenshot of your steps or energy. You plot it in or you signed it on our form, and after 3 days, you will receive your habitat if you are regularly or consistently moving and hitting the quota. So I hope that answers your question, Mihir. Thank you. We'll be sharing the form in a bit in our Genopets channel, so stay tuned.
Oke bang, ini yang nggak mudeng itu tentang energinya. Kita harus di level nggak? Ya harus di leveling ya. Jadi nanti energi itu kalau dapat habitat itu tanggung jawab pertama adalah dibuat harvesting ya, buat harvest key-nya itu yang paling utama. Yang kedua adalah level up ya. Jadi harus level up juga, harus progress juga. Jangan di press saja energi lu buat harvest doang. Ya jadiin XP.
So, can we use that energy when we have already have it, habitat?
Thank you very much for that, G176, Kara, right? So to answer your question, yes. So basically, the 3 days wherein you are going to be testing the application and make sure that you hit the quota is not gonna be put into waste. Why? After 3 days, on the fourth day, you will be assigned a habitat. Whatever energy that you have already banked on your application is still going to be usable. So on the fourth day, you can immediately bank 2,500 of your energy, and then after 14 days, the claiming will be allowed already by the system. So that's not going to be put to use. Put on. Not used. Just make sure though that you're able to hit the quota daily. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, Kara. And last one before we end this event. Let me check on the audience. Okay, I'm not seeing any now. Let me check on the general chat. Okay, for those who are asking or who came late, yeah, we do have a YouTube's live that you can also review it from there. But yeah, it's coming from Bowo, and you can also get their link or his link on the Post Your Live Stream channel under AAG Guild
Iya kalau
tab.
semisal we will do best to get everyone will apply. Oke, beda pembagiannya kira-kira berapa ya buat harvest dan energi. Yang penting itu yang prioritas sebenarnya itu buat harvest key-nya ya. Jadi selesaiin dulu buat harvest key-nya, baru nanti sisanya buat leveling. Jadi jangan leveling duluan. Jadi selesaiin dulu harvestnya sesuai kuota tiap harinya. Lu level berapa dapat habitatnya. Nah, itu prioritasin dulu, nanti sisanya buat leveling kayak gitu. Atau lu nggak mau leveling sehari sekali nggak ada masalah, lu tumpuk aja. Lu mau leveling 2 hari sekali terserah.
1,500 energy, and that will result into 50k. So what will happen then to the extra energy that you have? Number one, you can use those extra energy for rainy days, just in case you might not be able to hit a goal on that day. At least you have saved up enough energy that will still meet the 50k maximum cap on a daily basis. And number two, you can use those energy to increase the level of your pet so that your steps will not be will have a higher conversion rate. So there you go. So I hope that answers your question, Faith. And we also have here G21 or Jinx. He's raising his hand, and you may go ahead and raise your question, G21.
Jeans, RP. Can we admit Jeans? All right, here we go.
We have already Jeans here. Go ahead, Jeans. The floor is yours.
Pertanyaannya si Dani nih. Wah, itu tuyul nih. Pertanyaan para tuyulers.
Unmute yourself. All right, we don't have the power to unmute yourself, Jeans. Okay, let's just pick someone's questions in the general tab.
Dia bisu, tanya bisu. Anjay, lagi.
Is 4,500 key lang siya. Then pag reactivate is 40,000 key. May ibang,
Okay.
what?
I think the question here is that so basically the maximum to answer your question, Albin, what he is trying to raise here is that is there any other means of earning more than the 50K daily? To answer your question, yes, there are going to be other means, but currently it's still not available. The reason behind that, again, because we are still on the private beta. Perhaps my suggestion, if you are really interested to earn a lot in Genopets, is to hit the 2,500 criteria, which gives you about 50K. Next is if you are gonna hit 5,000 daily energy, then that gives you 110K daily. And then if you hit 3 sub habitat, that gives you about 165K maximum daily. So it's really increasing. If you cannot increase your steps, then you can increase the number of habitats that you have, and that will give you more chances of key daily. But again, the requirement will also increase. 3 habitats, that's going to be 7,500 energy daily, and for 2 habitats, that's going to be 5,000 energy daily. I hope that answers your question.
All right. So I guess yeah, as much as we would like to answer your questions, so and I hope that we answered your questions well. So yeah, it's almost time, or it's already been past 12 now. 12 minutes passed by from our schedule. So yeah, I guess that would be it. So if you do still have other questions, you can always raise it to our Genopet talks. And yeah, we'd like to thank you all for your participation right now, or for today's event. So thank you so much as well, Carl and Omar, for generously answering our scholars' questions. So yeah,
Thank
I
you.
guess yeah. Any last words? Parang
Thank you
mamamatch.
very much, guys. I really appreciate the time that you spent in hearing us in our AMA. If in case you may have any other questions or clarifications, don't hesitate to reach out to any of our leads or in our
Udah selesai, udah mau selesai. Ding bikin stong bikin say. Apa sih? Lo ngomong apa sih? Udah ada pertanyaan silakan ya. Jangan lupa like-nya guys, rangkumannya ya. Berasa ikut tubel. Have a great day. Thank you guys. Thank you. Udah selesai cuy. Udah selesai. Hello everyone. I cannot speak English. I'm so sorry I can't join us. We can join. We cannot join. Like dulu. Like dulu gimana? Mau itu kah? Mau rangkumannya kah? Like dulu dong. Tinggal like dulu. Yuk, kita ke bawah yuk. Kita masuk mana ya? Masuk event. Masuk event yuk. Masuk event yuk. Halo everyone. Sorry I can speak English only here. I'm just speak Indonesia. Bang kayak pegel ngetik lah ya. Like dulu ini kok dikit yang like, nunggu kesimpulan ya Bang Bowo ya. Iya ya, nunggu kesimpulan. Gua nggak. Apa mau dibahas kah sekarang? Mau dibahas kah? Apa di itu doang? Mau berapa like? Aneh boost like. Jangan pakai bot. Gue yang kena suspend nanti. Instagram gue yang kena suspend. Telegram gue. Yuk kumpul yuk di Discordnya Genopets, di Discordnya AAG yuk. Kita ngobrolin masalah apa tadi rangkumannya yuk. Yang bisa masuk dong. Yang bisa dong. Apa aja kah? Jangan di like pakai tuyul loh. Hati, jangan. Nanti gue kena suspend cuy. Gue takut kena suspend. Gak ada kah yang mau kumpul di sini? Udah capek kah udah? Udah capek kah? Ayo, kumpul yuk. Kumpul di sini, ramein, ya kan? Apa sih namanya tuh? Do you like? Ya iya. Semangat, gak dikasih role voice sama Bang Bowo. Enggak, masuk di apa namanya event town hall. Masuk di event town hall. Bukan masuk di itu. Masuk di event town hall. Event town hall, masuk semua event town hall. Masukin semua event town hall. Yuk, Indo yuk, sini yuk. Standby di YouTube aja bang. Mau berapa like do you like? Oke ya, gue ngobrolin masalah. Gue nggak bakal, gue nggak nyatet semuanya ya, nggak nyatet semuanya karena kalau gue catat semuanya itu tadi itu kayak terlalu detail dan pasti besok hari Senin itu bakal muncul detailnya juga guys. Jadi bakal muncul apa namanya kayak detail syarat apa namanya deskripsi untuk habitatnya kayak gimana, lu harus ngapain, itu pasti dikasih deskripsi atau dikasih tutorial sama AG. Gak mungkin kalian dikasih polosan dari ini lu suruh nyatat sendiri, itu nggak mungkin. Dari apa namanya tadi lu nyatat sendiri nggak mungkin. Pasti mereka akan ngasih rangkumannya. Jadi mereka akan ngasih guideline-nya ke kalian. Jadi nggak usah apa namanya khawatir karena itu pasti akan terbit nanti. Terus yang kedua apa namanya masalah itu ya, masalah poin-poinnya. Yang gue catat yang penting-penting aja ya, yang gue catat yang penting-penting aja. Contohnya kayak untuk pembagian atau bagi hasil. Kalau di Indonesia kan bagi hasil ya, presentase bagi hasil antara scholarship kita sendiri, harvester dengan apa dengan AAG atau guild itu 75 untuk AAG, terus 25 untuk kita. Nah 75-nya itu sebenarnya bukan untuk AAG semua, tapi 51% ya dari 75% itu kembali lagi ke dev. Karena untuk apa dev dikasih ke dev? Karena untuk pemeliharaan habitat guys, karena habitat itu kayak ada masa waktu aktifnya gitu kan. Ketika masa waktu itu aktif itu habis, otomatis habitat itu nggak akan bisa dipakai. Jadi masa aktif itu 90 hari kalau di habitat. Jadi kalau udah 90 hari, habitat itu jadi rawa-rawa. Jadi harus kayak diurusin dulu. Jadi harus istilahnya kalau di sini itu namanya dorman. Jadi nggak langsung bisa dipakai. Jadi butuh biaya buat jadiin dorman itu kembali lagi di habitat yang asli dan dipakai buat harvest key lagi, buat cuan lagi. Nah, itu butuh biaya yang lumayan gede key-nya. Nah, biaya key-nya itu diambil dari situ. Jadi 51% buat pemeliharaan habitat. Terus sisanya yang 14% itu baru untuk AAG guild-nya dan 25% itu baru untuk scholarship. Jadi sebenarnya antara AAG guild yang kalian sama yang kalian dapat itu sebenarnya lebih gede yang kalian dapat. Karena sebenarnya guild itu cuma dapat sekitar 24%. 51% lari ke dev-nya buat lagi-lagi pemeliharaan habitat, dan nanti mereka juga spare buat naikin level Genopet, level habitatnya lagi. Karena nggak mungkin mereka level 1 terus. Nah, buat kalian semua yang udah daftar habitat, itu dijamin dapat. Jadi sekali lagi AAG Guild itu menekanin buat kalian semua untuk yang sudah ikut atau berpartisipasi dan sudah terpilih jadi scholarship itu bakal dapet yang namanya habitat. Namun ada catatannya, di mana yang akan jadi prioritas untuk mendapatkan terlebih dahulu itu adalah orang-orang atau scholar yang mempunyai track record atau progres 5 hari ke belakang ini minimal dapat 7.000 step. Jadi minimal dapat 7.000 step itu bakal jadi prioritas buat guild untuk ngasih dia duluan. Jadi yang di bawah-bawah itu ya belakangan. Jadi mungkin nggak sesuai sama kompetitor atau yang sebelah, developer sebelah, guild sebelah, ini mereka akan record ya, akan nyatetin semua kalian, lihat progres kalian 5 hari ke belakang kalau kalian baru gabung ya. Jadi jangan sampai di bawah 7K. Tapi jangan terlalu tinggi. Kalau menurut gua 10K, 12K itu udah cukup. Bahkan sebenarnya 9K itu udah cukup. Gak usah terlalu tinggi. Gua udah contohin ke kalian semua. Gua setor 43K. Ya malum lah ya, Walken ya. Malum Walken kan. Setor 43K kalau buat Walken biasa aja gitu kan. Kalau setor di RRQ kayak gitu paling ya udah gitu. Ya udah sama-sama tahu. Tapi kalau di AAG ini jelas kalian akan jadi pusat perhatian, guys. Akan jadi pusat perhatian karena itu nggak normal. Karena itu nggak normal banget. Jadi mereka itu mengedepankan kejujuran. Jadi gua pas posting itu langsung di tag sama berapa? Sama 3 admin. Jadi itu kayak ngebecandain gua gitu kan. Kalian pasti tahu lah hari kapan ya. Kayaknya kalau nggak salah itu hari sekitar 2 hari kemarin gua ngelaporin itu, dan memang responnya juga nggak terlalu baik, apalagi buat teman-teman yang member dan ikut scholar. Dan lagi-lagi ya, tolong jangan cheat ya, tolong jangan cheat. Hello sir GP, hello.
Hi, Bang Bowo.
Hello.
You're
I'm
having
so
meeting,
sorry about that. I can join with you guys on the AMA. I'm so sorry because I don't know. I'm just too shy to join you. I'm so sorry. This is my my viewers. Maybe it's not all, but sometimes we talk with viewers on the Discord, so maybe you will have any note about my viewers about Indonesian scholar.
People who are joining the guild, and yeah, thank you so much as well for watching some Bang Bowo's live. So yeah, we appreciate you guys joining AAG. So I hope that we are still able to see your names moving forward and more people to come, so that we are also happy to help for everyone.
Okay, great. Woo. Semangat guys. GP support us. GP support Indonesian people who join on the AAG Guild. Okay, so don't worry. Just play your scholar, and yeah, don't cheating guys. Don't cheating because on the 2 days ago, yeah, 2 days ago, ya, gua nggak bisa bahasa Inggris ya. Mohon maaf, I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Mr. Jim. I'm so
who was
sorry
that?
about that. Yeah,
Is that you?
yeah. 2 days ago, I sent the screenshot of 43K step, 43K step. Jadi gua kemarin itu ngirim screenshot 43.000 step ya ke apa namanya ke Discord AAG ini. Makanya gue bilang kenapa jangan cheating. Itu salah satu gue itu pengen ngeliatin ke kalian bahwa nih loh, pada saat gue cheating lu kasih informasi atau step yang palsu, itu responnya gimana untuk AAG, karena ini lagi-lagi bukan Walken guys, ini game yang berbeda. Kalau kemarin kita main Walken dengan step seperti itu normal, tapi kalau di di AAG itu nggak bisa kayak gitu. Jadi tuh bener-bener abnormal. Jadi ya mana bisa lah, orang atlet aja 43K kagak bisa kok. Iya kan. So I'm so sorry Mr. GP. I'm just yeah.
It's totally fine. We certainly do understand about it, and
Yeah.
the one who raised that screenshot is not coming from Genopet team, so it was just like also a person who's playing Genopets and checking the leaderboard. So yeah, based on your, I guess that was your explanation that you're a social worker. That's the reason why it come up to 43,000 steps, right, in just one day. So
Yeah.
everything, yeah, it's not like maybe it might be a suspicious for someone, but in developers point of view, they can totally track what you are doing, like since they are connected with Google. So of course Google is too high tech
Yeah, of course.
company, so they can track really what is your activity on that day. And yeah, so but technically let's just yeah, you can get more steps, but not that too high to be more suspicious, because we cannot please everyone that you are doing the right thing. Because again, hitting like 50,000 steps a day is really also not a normal person, unless you are really like an athlete, or yeah, like Bangbu with social worker job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as you are doing the right thing, and someone's making like suspicious, we can really defend it, um, as long as it's totally right. So yeah, it's really okay, Bang Bubu, and thank you so much for reminding everyone not to cheat, especially that when you are using some hanging thing, like your.
Yeah.
Please don't. We have already
Yeah, yeah.
done that. We also put that in the fan, and yeah, we did everything before, but that's considered as cheating.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, you may continue, Bang.
Oke. Oke, thank you for the detail, Mr. JP. Jadi gitu ya guys ya, jangan cheating. Please, gue udah kasih tahu, gue kasih contoh ke kalian. Ya, ini nggak sama kayak NFT game sebelah. Mungkin sama-sama Solana, tapi memang ya ini ekosistemnya juga beda ya. Dan ini jangan lupa buat kalian yang udah udah mendapatkan Scholar, kalian punya tanggung jawab guys. Besok hari Senin itu akan ada satu form ya, dimana form itu nanti kalian harus isi ya. Dan juga jangan lupa nanti malam, thank you so much for penjaga Oyo. Penjaga Oyo ada lagi kan. Thank you so much, thank you so much for Severia ya, thank you so much. Jadi kalau kalian belum, sekarang jam berapa sih? Sekarang jam setengah 11 ya. Sebelum jam 12 kalian wajib yang namanya kasih laporan ya, jangan lupa. Dan tempat laporannya juga udah ganti, udah beda. Dan nanti rangkuman untuk AMA nanti gua kirim ke Telegram. Jadi buat kalian semua itu aja guys ya, cukup ya, cukup. Nanti gua kalau udah dapet yang namanya, ya mungkin aja gua dapet pertama kali, nggak tahu, gua juga nggak tahu. Kalau dapat pertama kali untuk habitatnya, gua akan bikin video khusus ya. Nanti guideline-nya kayak contohnya tutorial buat harvest key, buat apa segala macam, pokoknya detail-detail tentang habitat gua akan bikin kalau gua udah dapet habitat ya. Jadi mungkin itu, jadi tolong bener-bener tolong jangan cheating ya. Oke? Thank you so much for your attention guys. Thank you so much Mr. GP. Thank you so much tadi teman-teman
Thank
dari
you
admin.
everyone.
Thank you so much. Jadi gua akhiri itu dulu, Mr. GP. We will end this live stream. So thank you for the detail of the AMA and here. And yeah, maybe
Alright.
we will talk
Okay.
next time. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Have a great day, guys.
Have a
Bye.
great day guys. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.